Khorne here, and today I will be sharing with you my thoughts on how I would rank the Greenskins factions. I'm going to rank them based on their power on the campaign map and the fun factor of their campaigns. To begin, let's talk about number 1, Skarsnik. I already made 2 videos explaining why Skarsnik is the best, but if you haven't watched them, here's a quick recap. Unlimited goblin armies. With a minus 40% upkeep faction trait for goblin units, another 10% from the mushroom addicted trait, an additional 25% from technologies, and a 17% reduction from your lord's blue line, you'll often find yourself paying more for the heroes in your armies than for the units themselves. World conquest becomes a breeze after turn 30, and while Skarsnik as a legendary lord might be quite weak and uninteresting, this doesn't change how strong his faction is as a whole, and how much fun it can be to overwhelm your foes with endless gobbos. I understand that not everyone enjoys spamming nasty skulkers, but honestly, with how dirt cheap you can get goblins and how much you can actually boost them, any combination of them will perform better than orcs. Now, the second best is Grom the Paunch. You might be wondering why he isn't number 1. The answer to that is that he can't match Skarsnik when it comes to conquering the map. Not only that, but Hag Merchant for me stops spawning after the first meal I cook, then randomly reappears during my campaign. Here I started a new campaign to showcase it. The Hag should show up 2 turns after you cook a meal, but here she isn't showing up at all after I cook meals, no matter how long I wait. Without the Hag Merchant in the early game of the campaign, you can't obtain most ingredients or unlock the rest of Grom's cooking slots or recipes. This can be quite frustrating when playing as Grom, often leading me to stop playing the campaign because of it. Grom does have much higher potential for his factions than the other Greenskins with his cooking, but I can't enjoy his campaign as much as I used to in Warhammer 2, where it was the best by default. In Warhammer 3, where upkeep cost reduction matters more, Skarsnik is simply the better goblin faction. Ultimately, the biggest reason why I don't like Grom's campaign is because I believe it's currently bugged when it comes to the Hag Merchant spawning, which is a shame, because his campaign should be more engaging and fun than the other Greenskins. If you're enjoying the video thus far, please consider subscribing for future content. Now back to the video. Grimgor and Azag share the second worst slot because neither of their campaigns stands out as better or worse. They both boost big guns, and although Grimgor boosts Black Orcs as well, the stats he provides are insignificant. Leadership and armor for a unit with high armor and being close to unbreakable is a strange design choice to say the very least. Grimgor is a better fighter, while Azag has access to magic and a flying mount, making him better overall. Their faction bonuses are both quite mediocre, but slightly better for Grimgor. They both start in regions where they have to face tough opponents. Grimgor has to deal with Kolak, while Azag has to deal with Ungrim. Both of these enemies can be quite dangerous in the early stages of the campaign, and in comparison, Skarsnik and Grom have it relatively easy. Additionally, the turn 2 capture of Tsar Nagran for Grimgor has been fixed, and the income from raiding caravans has been mostly removed, so there's nothing left for him to exploit in the Darklands. Ultimately, both their factions are mediocre and lack any real depth or theme to them. Now Wurzik has, in my opinion, the worst start amongst the Greenskin legendary lords, and the worst faction effects. Well, Wurzag as a legendary lord is probably the best Greenskin and can create some of the best armies in the game with his unique skill tree. His faction is simply not up to par. All of his territory is quite open, making it easy for enemies to attack you. And you will often be the target of war declarations because of this. Savage Orcs, although they can be quite strong, are fairly weak in the beginning of the campaign, especially when you start near demon factions. There's also the problem of deciding where to expand. Going south means fighting Skarbrand, and if his armies are filled with demon units, you will not have a good time. Going north leads to gaining yellow territory, but you can always try to go to the Darklands and confederate the rest of the Greenskin legendary lords, which is his only saving grace. The fact he is in a position to easily confederate the other Greenskin legendary lords. Well, this is how I would rank the Greenskin factions in Warhammer 3. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching, and until next time.